Hey ninjas, welcome back. You are here because you are sick of paying money for ads. Am I right? You really want that organic traffic coming to your Shopify store. So you are in the right place, because in this rescue guide, we will go through that step by step. We will talk about what do you need to pay attention to, why you need it. We'll also go through some tools that you absolutely need to make this work. We will go through the step-by-step process, but do make sure that you stay until the end, because I will also be sharing you the biggest mistake that I've made with organic traffic that literally has almost cost me an entire business. Hey, my name is Silvia. I'm one of the co-founders of the Traffic Ninjas. Together with my husband, Kristen, we have founded Traffic Ninjas to help Shopify stores just like you get that consistent and predictable traffic without having to pay all of that money for ads and agencies. So join us on the path as we discover all of these little known, hidden, untapped ways of how you can get those consistent and predictable sales. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and also let us know, comment below. Do let us know how you like the content, because we are making it for you. Now, some of you might be asking like, hey, what is this thing with the untapped ways? The reason why we always talk about the untapped ways is because us small business owners, just like you, we are small business owners as well. Honestly, with the resources that we've got to do things differently, because being dependent on big brands and big agencies has actually never gotten anyone anywhere. So for small businesses, to make sure that we get those sales consistently and predictably and don't have to worry where the next sale will be coming from or the bills piling up, we've got to go for the untapped territories. And that's also what we refer to in our business, the ninja way. At some point, I have literally lost almost $100,000 of my hard-earned cash, and purely because I didn't know what I'm about to teach you right now. So guys, organic traffic really is extremely valuable, and now is really the best time to get into that. But we've got to know how to go on about it, because the number one thing that I've learned is that if we don't pay attention to how to go on about organic traffic, it can really become a bloodbath full of the big agencies, full of the big brands names. So, you know, the thing is that lots of people don't realize that there's essentially 8.5 billion searches every single day. I'm not kidding. 8.5 billion searches on Google every single day. Almost 90% of that is completely untapped, which is, yeah, that's great news for us small business owners. However, it is a market that's dominated by the big brands and the big agencies. So we really have to uncover those hidden ways, which is what we're going to do right now. So first of all, what are the tools that you need to make organic traffic work for you? There are three main tools that we'll be going through, and I will also explain what each of these tools is about. And I'm pretty sure you already have these tools, but sometimes you might be like, oh my God, how am I going to use that? Or what does this really mean? So first of all, guys, let's talk about Google Analytics. I know some of you are like, oh, when I open my Shopify store, somebody set up this Google Analytics for me, but I open it and I see these graphs, and so I shut it. If that's you, do let me know. Do comment below, because I used to be like that too. That's because I didn't understand what Google Analytics is and the vital role in place for my business, or in my business, shall I say. So Google Analytics essentially is nothing else but a tool that explains to you how visitors arrive to your website, and it also traces it down then to sales. So how visitors arrive to your website and how they convert to sales. Now, why is it really important? It's really important because when you're working on organic traffic, you want to essentially make sure that you verify that you've got those visitors coming to your website, and you'll be able to see that through Google Analytics. So that brings us to Google Search Console. People are like, okay, well, there's Google Analytics, so why do I need this Google Search Console? And the same thing, like, I've known people who have had Google Search Console for years and years and years and never utilized, never looked at it. You know, again, it was a graph. Some people were like nerding out of it, but actually not taking any insights. So If that's one of you guys, just do comment below, let me know, because I would love to hear from you. As I said, I used to be the same. So when it comes to Google Search Console, essentially what Google Search Console is telling us, it's only telling us information about organic traffic. So if it has to do nothing with organic traffic, like let's say you're running ads, then it's not going to be visible in Google Search Console. Everything you see in Google Search Console is essentially resulting from people or from users, from your potential customers, typing in sentences into the Google browser. The really important thing in Google Search Console is that you see what's called impressions and you see what's called clicks, okay? Now, as a rule of thumb, and we'll talk about this further in the step-by-step process, as a rule of thumb, your impressions will be growing faster than your clicks. What is an impression and why do we see that inside Google Search Console? So essentially, impression is anytime a potential customer searches on Google and sees your brand, your business appear in the results. So that's what's called an impression. Now, what you might see is that if you have a lot of impressions and not so many clicks, it will give you a signal that you are most probably not coming up at the top of the search results. Why is that? Because just like all of us, like when we type into Google, like, hey, I'm looking for, a yellow summer jumpsuit, and so I'm searching through, I'm most probably going to be looking at the results on the first page. Sometimes I'm going to be committed and I'm going to look on the second page too. Sometimes I'm going to be super committed and I'm going to be looking at page 3 and 4. But like most of the time, I'm not going past result number 5. Does it make sense? Like most of the time, we're just staying on the first page and we're not going past result number 5. So when you see impressions, it means that that potential customer saw you somewhere in results, but when you see a click, it means that they actually selected you out of the results and clicked. And obviously, there is art and science of how to come up in the top of the search results and also make these people click. But that's what we need Google Search Console for, because it's just giving you so much powerful insight. So guys, for those of you who haven't dived into your Google Search Console, that's your homework, do that now. And do let me know, comment below, is this you? Do you ever get freaked out from all the graphs that you see? Okay, so that's Google Analytics, Google Search Console. So Google Analytics, again, I repeat, is telling us how people arrive to a website. Google Search Console is telling us essentially, specifically, did we have impressions, did we have clicks? But even more so, it's also giving us the exact queries that people are typing into the search browser, which is a gold mine, guys. It's a gold mine. It's a gold mine. And I'm going to go further into why and how is it a gold mine and how to use it to really your best advantage. Now, before we get there though, a third tool I really want you guys to start paying attention to is some sort of a keyword search tool. Now, there are many tools out there. There is SEMRush, there is Ahrefs, there is Moz, there's different tools. I personally am subscribed to all 3, but my absolutely favorite is SEMRush because I personally find it the most user-friendly, the tool that's more for business owners who are not necessarily nerds in all these graphs, I guess. So if that's you and you're really passionate about your business and your product and your brand, then you might also prefer SEMRush because it's just a little bit more intuitive, shall I say. If you haven't opened your free trial yet, you can click on the link below and open a free trial. And otherwise, there is so many other tools out there that you can essentially use for your keyword research. However, the reason why you might want to try or test or subscribe to one of these keyword research tools, and as I said, I'm subscribed to 3, is because it essentially helps you understand what are those queries. Remember those queries that you can see inside Search Console? What are those queries that your ideal customers are looking for? What is it that people type into the browser, right? Because sometimes we're like, it's so difficult to get into people's minds. What is it that they type in? So these keyword research tools will essentially tell you that, and then together you use the keyword research tools together with the Shopify console and Shopify analytics, and it holistically helps to guide you through this process where you're going to be getting a ton of organic traffic and really getting those consistent and predictable sales without having to spend money on it. Okay, now let's talk about the process. You know why you have to do that. There is 8.5 billion searches every single day, and we really need to go for the untapped. We've got the tools. So let's talk about the process of how do we find the untapped searches where essentially the big business doesn't play, because this is extremely important. The reason why it's extremely important is because you can literally spend months and years on working on your organic traffic, but if you have not identified the untapped or the low-hanging fruit, as we call it, you may never get those sales. However, when you do find those untapped, then there is essentially a simple process to do that. It can literally like start getting you results within days, guys, within days. Like, it really is a myth that organic traffic takes years and years and years. It is absolutely not true. When you follow the right method, when you follow the right strategy, you can start seeing results straight away. So the really important part is to identify what is the untapped, what is the low-hanging fruit, and in our ninja lingo, we also call it phrase mining. The reason why we call it phrase mining is because essentially this is really your gold mine. You know, a lot of people just want to move to the step of like, oh, I just want to update that website and I just want to be getting all of this organic traffic. Well, that's great. But if you skip that process of identifying the untapped and skip that process of phrase mining and mining for gold, then honestly, all the work you are doing afterwards might not even matter. Like, you can literally throw that out of the window. So to do the phrase mining process effectively, you've got to have some criteria of what you're looking for. Like, you've got to first understand, like, what kind of a website have I got? You know, is my Shopify store brand new? Or have I got any traffic? Have I got any organic traffic? Have I got any what's called authority out there? Because if you have any authority out there, then you're going to get access to a wider pool of opportunities. Okay? Now, the way how you start looking for these opportunities, or for the low-hanging fruit, or for the untapped, is you go back to your Google Search Console, and essentially, and by the way, you have this information also available in SEMRush, depending which one you're using or both, and you start digging for phrases that essentially are ranked for you somewhere between 8 and up to 20. Okay, what does it mean? So both of these tools, Google Search Console and also SEMRush, they're really, really cool. Essentially, you can click inside Google Search Console on a phrase and you can see like how high are you ranking in the Google search results for that specific phrase. So for example, if it's black leather shoes and that's what you're getting impressions for, you can click on that inside Google Search Console and you can see that you might be ranking, you know, on a position 12. So if you're anywhere between 8 to 20, that is what we call your low-hanging fruit or your biggest opportunity, okay? Why is that? Because it's going to be much easier for your business to go from position 20 to position 3 than it's going to be from, you know, position 155 or not even a position yet, not even registered, to the front page, okay? So in this case, guys, we're not looking to go thin, like spread ourselves thin and go wide. We're really to make organic traffic work. And write this down, guys. This is a write it downer. You want to go narrow and focused. You're going to want to go narrow and focused so that you pick 2, 3, 4 ninja phrases where you can really elevate yourself to the first few results. The reason why this is so extremely important is because it kind of works like a snowball. You know, organic traffic for Shopify really works like a snowball. Like the higher you rank, the more you're gonna rank. The higher you rank, the more you're gonna rank for more phrases. So super important. So identify those low-hanging fruits. We also typically teach in our community that you want to have your top 20. What is your top 20? So first you dig inside your Google Search Console, and let's say you don't have 20 there. Let's say you only find five untapped opportunities. Well, that's where a tool like SEMRush comes into place, and you essentially search through SEMRush. You go to the keyword magic tool and you search through SEMRush. What are some of the products that you've got that big business is not competing for? Even if they have lower volumes, what are some of the phrases, and ideally you want this to be products that you already have and that you already sell, that big businesses are not so interested in selling? And this essentially will complete your top 20 list. Now, okay, we've got the top 20 list. Now, what do we do with that? And that brings us to essentially the point where you need to take action and update your website. So this is a super simple step, extremely important though. So you've got your top 20, and with these top 20 phrases, you essentially take them and you start updating your website with these top 20 phrases. Now, do we want you guys to like start just nilly-willy doing this? No, there is a hierarchy to this. I'll give you an example. If you update your collection page with the phrases in the top 20 with the ninja phrases, that's gonna count for more in the organic traffic than updating a product page. Okay, so collection page is gonna count more than a product page. For example, another hierarchy, updating name of the product, it's gonna count for more than just updating the text of the product. So you get me? So it's collection page, product page, and then it's the title inside the product page before the text. Now also some of you are like, okay, but how about I've got a ninja phrase and I've got a blog? Well, that's great, but if you are a Shopify store and selling products, then unless that blog is a curation of different products, still a collection page or a product page is gonna count for more in the hierarchy. So there you have it, guys. Simple, okay? 8.5 billion searches. We need to go for the untapped. Use the tools. There is 3 simple tools that really can do wonders for you. Identify your top 20 and then use the hierarchy to update your website with the top 20. But guys, we talked about the biggest mistake, and honestly this mistake has cost me almost like an entire business. Like literally you can see on the graph here that it was a website where we were like building the organic traffic and building it, and it was just like so amazing, and suddenly bang, it completely crashed down. And it took us a little while to figure out why, and now that we know it, we're like, oh my god, this was so stupid, and I wish I had known this before, but unfortunately I didn't. And so the thing was that the reason why the traffic crashed and the reason why we lost all of our organic traffic was because, guys, we were trying to outsmart Google. No kidding, we were trying to outsmart Google. We tried to be a little bit too greedy with that. And we thought, you know what, we've got all of these ninja phrases and we've got this website, like let's just put them all over the website. But guys, that's not how it works. Because whilst you have to identify the untapped phrases and you've got to put them inside your store at the right spot, also Google will always look for text that's so-called relevant, okay? So if you try to game the system and take one ninja phrase that you're going for and put it on the website 55 times because you think that that's gonna help you go to result number 1, unfortunately that's not gonna happen. Like in the past it used to work, and unfortunately I had to learn on my own skin all of the effort that I put into this, all of the effort that I put into phrase mining and then updating the website essentially went nowhere, because Google really cares about your content being relevant for the customer. So it's very important to think through a business lens, and it's very important to think, how am I going to go for the untapped? How am I going to identify the ninja phrases? How am I going to update them on the website and where? But after that, always think of the customer. Okay, is this going to be relevant to a customer? If I was a user and I was reading this page, would it make sense to me? Or would it feel like I am repeating, yellow, blue jumpsuit or print jumpsuit like all over the page, that it's kind of, fake or robot-like? Once you're going to be like, it feels a bit robot-like, then Google will know that the Google robot will know it feels robot-like. So definitely avoid that, because as you can see, I have learned the hard way, unfortunately. So guys, if you want to learn more about the untapped ways, how to get consistent and predictable sales to your Shopify store without having to necessarily pay for crazy ads or agencies, make sure that you watch the next video. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to our channel. Do let us know how you like this video. Do comment below. We'd love to hear from you, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Bye bye.